Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. It is time for the Thursday temperature check with proposal experts. My name is Ben Klein. I'm the owner of Geek Proposals and the chief recipe officer at PIE. Rachelle is on the road again today, but we are joined by the absolutely fabulous Leonie Thomas from across the pond. So fantastic. Leonie is going to be a speaker at RFWin. And so Camp PIE this year, happening August 7th and 8th. If you haven't got your ticket, then hopefully you're a member of PIE because your ticket is free. If you're not a member of PIE, get on it. Anyways, so we thought that we'd take a moment and tease out what you're going to be talking about, get y'all excited for what's happening out there in the world. But before we start that, Leonie, maybe you could tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, thank you, Ben. My name is Leonie Thomas. I am a bid writer and someone who has chosen bid writing as my career, and it's what I do. I don't see it as I'm not on the move to bid management. I very much want to focus on bid writing and getting bid communications as good as they can possibly be so that we can win more bids through better writing and communicating what it is that we're selling our clients and how we're solving their challenges.
Perfect. So you work a lot in like the communication and structure of the bid, like trying to I mean, we all know that like when a steering committee is reading through your bids, they're hopefully like reading it end to end, but like realistically they're skimming and stuff like that. And so it's really important to capture their attention. So is that like I guess is that sort of your idea of focus, or where do you feel that you add value? And sorry, and I apologize. Are you in house as a bid writer, or are you working as a consultant?
I'm a, I'm a consultant, so I work in construction and infrastructure engineering. That's my area of bid specialism, if you like.
Yeah.
So it's not for everybody, but it's definitely where I'm very happy.
Okay. Perfect. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And in the UK, like, so construction is normally not public; it's commercial. Is that sort of the structure?
Both actually, since the what we call the financial crash or the credit crunch of 2008, a lot of my bidding experience has actually been public sector. So I've done far fewer private sector bids in the time since then. The earlier part of my career was all private sector. So I've experienced a big shift in that time. And now my experience is largely public sector.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, that's interesting. So my business partner is probably better able to speak with you because
Yes.
Rochelle is an AEC here, so
Yeah.
architecture, engineering, construction. Um, why am I telling you this? Like you didn't know? Sorry. um yeah, anyways, so she loves to have a good chat about that. I unfortunately only have one engineering client, so and they deal mainly in the energy space, so I really, this is a foreign territory for me. You're someone on a distant shore, from my view. All right.
In many ways.
In many ways, but at least we both love lemon curd. If there's one
We
thing,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, we do.
So, and bear with me. So the last time I was in London, I went to Fort
Yeah,
Mason. It,
lovely.
is that, but like, it's not a chain, right? Are there multiple stores? Are there like,
There might be little like what do you call them? Little concessions in maybe department stores.
yeah,
There
yeah,
may be, but it might be a little bit too posh for me, you know.
yeah. You go for the more every person lemon curd, not the high
It
end.
might be it might be quantity over quality where lemon curd's concerned.
All right. For those of you in North America who don't know what lemon curd is, go try to find it at your local supermarket. It will change your life. It can turn bread into a lemon meringue pie, which is
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, the craziest thing when you
yeah.
taste it for the first time. All right, but let's let's get on with it then. So you submitted an application this year for RFWin, and our selection committee were super excited to take you on. But you have a different take on AI. or not a different take, but you have a take on AI for the future and how to put it into your bid process. Do you maybe just want to tease out like a high level of what you're going to be talking about? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about the impact of AI really on the bid writer skill set, where I think that's going to take the role. Um, I think the bid writing is changing in terms of outputs required, but also what teams need from us as well as bid writing professionals. Um, I th- and I think there's two aspects here. I think there's two sets of drivers. I think that bidding as a profession is obviously maturing in a way that it hasn't been up until this point. And so I think that maybe people that have been in the industry a long time are getting to a point where they want more out of the role. But then I also think that bids are increasing in their complexity. There's all sorts of different demands on bid teams. So what can bid writers be doing and adding to try and close those gaps? And then that's also augmented by the incoming of AI. So I think they're two separate drivers, but I think they're going to lead to the same place. So efficiency, different skill sets. I think that people skill sets are going to be far more important in the future, and we're going to be talking about that at Camp PIE. And how that's going to look, and how we get also new entrants into bid writing, and how we train them. Because if AI is doing what they call, some of the grunt tasks or the donkey work, if you like, how do we train new entrants and people coming into bid writing? Because doing the grunt work was actually where I learned to be a writer. So we definitely need to consider that now, and not
Yeah.
leave it till 5 years down the road and we find that we've got no bid writing resource, because I still think that bid writing is going to be extremely important with or without AI.
Yeah, here, and you've hit on the very issue that's kind of the talk of the town in Silicon Valley right now. Is that a lot of
Um,
companies are saying, "Oh, we're only going to need senior programmers because AI is going to do a lot of the basic programmers." But like they're like, "Well, how do you get senior programmers without getting
yeah,
like bringing in an intern that becomes a junior programmer that becomes a mid-level
yeah.
programmer?" Right? Like it's the same with writing. It's a skill that has to be practiced, and if you're just letting AI do all the work for you, then how do we train that skill? So I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the solutions there, and I think that writing kind of really lends itself well to solving this particular problem that we might have around bid writers, is that AI needs to draw on great quality writing to be able to output great quality writing.
Mhm.
So for me, the more junior resource needs to be directed towards writing case studies, writing really great boilerplate text, and all of that input. So that I see I see the focus sort of flipping from bid delivery to doing pre-bid work that is around
Mm.
content creation, and getting those AI libraries as effective and data rich as possible. But that's going to require a shift in focus. Same skills, but we're using them slightly differently.
Oh yeah, I really like that
Yeah,
idea. I can
yeah,
imagine that would be a tough sell to a company that isn't prepared for it. But I could see someone making the pitch. Like I do. Full disclosure, I do a lot of North American bids, but I have an EU and UK chapter. Um, and what I find, of course, is that honestly, your bidding processes are more mature.
they are. Yeah,
Yeah, that we have in North America sometimes. So I do see some of the clients there, like saying, "Oh, let's spend the summer, kind of our down period for utilities and stuff like that. Let's spend the summer like building that content, building that stuff, so that we're preparing." So I suspect that you would have an easier time making that pitch in the UK, maybe.
the challenge is the challenge back to your clients or people that are pushing back. It's, well, your AI is not going to create and output what you need it to the standard that you need without it.
Hmm.
So it is, yeah. I like, for me, it's an argument that makes sense, but yeah, I guess that people need to test it, don't they?
I yeah. I every year. So APMP this year joined with Lupio, and they did last year as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they produced the Lupio Insights report, um, and in that insight report, there is the question: do you believe that AI can currently replace your job? And I think the number frontline proposal specialists is kind of around 35%, but among executives, it's about 70 to 80% believe that AI can replace that role.
Mm,
And that gap is kind of like
yeah.
the area of risk for proposal specialists right now. All right, so I like it. I like the way you're thinking about that. See any other challenges though with bringing AI into your bid writing processes, or oh, I guess.
I think workflow will massively change. So there's got to be a really strong argument about the why part of it. Why are we creating this change?
Mhm,
Um, I'm not clear currently that the why argument is strong enough to drive a lot of the change that might be demanded, because it's not just bid writers that will have to change how they work, it's everything that goes around it. So how reviewers review, how managers manage, everything will need to change around it.
mhm,
So I don't see this being an overnight thing. I think it's going to be an evolution, but I would start with the writing, because that is where the biggest efficiencies are created. And when I say efficiencies, I don't mean getting people, um, losing their jobs. I don't think it's going to be efficiencies like that. I think it'll be efficiencies in terms of creating space for added value activities, more thinking, better
mhm,
facilitation earlier, and well-being as well. We don't talk enough about the impact of bid hours on people's lives and mental health and physical health. So if we can create benefits around those areas as well, then
mhm.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can count on probably two hands the number of weeks that I don't have a late night in any given year. So I am not a good work-life balance or like setter of boundaries in my proposal process. So I certainly would appreciate just the chance to sit down and think and like really think about what a client wants and how we approach them and how we interest them in what we're doing. Interesting. I love it. I love it. I had another thought um, because it's something you said, but it eludes me. I should have been like taking quick notes.
It's blown off. It'll come back to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was what you were saying around the bid process and how to sign it. So I did a white paper for one of my legal clients because what they discovered, they've had 9 months now of AI assisted tools and AI assisted writing in their bid process. And what they discovered is that at the beginning, oh, this is it because of your review process comment. So what they discovered at the beginning of the process was that everything was taking a little bit longer or just the same as bids. Like the writing was there, and people were finding it more enjoyable to edit content rather than to like try to create it whole cloth. Um, but what they discovered is that later on, like later to the end of the 9 months, suddenly the super users of it were becoming complacent, and they were not really reviewing the AI generated content as closely anymore. So on the key critical factors inside their bids, like the actual legal work, everything was being reviewed clearly. But like in the kind of messaging and marketing material and like the like connection with the customer, people were not reviewing that content anymore. They were becoming complacent in AI and stuff like that. And what she was finding is that it was creating issues where the senior partners were having to do more reviews later on, or take longer inside their review process. So do you like, I guess, do you have any suggestions? Like, have you with your clients, have you done any kind of like AI implementation work or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm going through that at the moment with a big client on a big bid, and we have been discussing reviews and how we work with the system, etc., etc. I think my preference at the moment is to take the draft offline and just put it in a Word document, just like the old times. For me, reviews are one of the most important parts of the whole process.
Mhm.
And if you don't get that robust review feedback early enough, then the impacts later on when you're moving towards submission can be significant. So that's how I've managed it this time. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I've
Do
like
you
I've not used AI.
do you like AI writing? I'm curious. Like you've obviously seen samples of it. You've seen,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I use it. I use it a
Okay.
lot, and I've used different systems as well. Um, the output's not equal. So there's differing various levels of quality. I definitely prefer some styles over others. Some of it's too surface. Some of it can obviously create nonsense on the page. So there's always significant editing work for me to do.
Yeah.
But how I use it to great effect is being able to collate and parse multiple documents around a particular theme, and it's fantastic at being able to turn out grouped content that would take me days potentially to kind of work through and achieve like that. So that's my favorite activity for it. I do like it as well for, maybe if you've got a couple of sections that are slightly different and a bit the same, boil that down into 2 paragraphs for me. Like, it's great for that as well. So it enables me to move through drafts much more quickly.
Yeah.
I guess my output has gone up. It's kind of supercharging my output.
Yeah. And I work with another UK bid writing consultant, Suzanne Jensen's, fantastic woman, and she was very reluctant about AI at the beginning, but now has like discovered, yes, there's ways to like incorporate where I am still the master and commander and in charge of like the final output, but like I can use it to like streamline some of the activities inside the bid writing process to make myself more efficient. Of course, with that is the caveat. Like I think I mentioned that I believe that my team can probably handle 250 bids this year. But one of my former business partners said there's the danger of AI is the possibility of creating a machine that pushes out really efficient crap. And
exactly.
Yeah.
We don't want to be doing the wrong things more quickly. And if I was to say anything to anybody, it's use AI to create great process and great culture around work winning, because that's an extra guardrail to what AI is pushing out. But it will also give you, if you've got more time, then put more quality thinking into what you're doing. So that those things combined, process, people with great skills, AI, culture, equals great pitches, more won opportunities of higher quality.
Yeah. Absolutely. I really like that. I like that idea. Okay. Super interesting. So this is great. You're obviously going to be presenting to us. What do people expect to take away from your session? Like, will they feel like, is this, and not to put you on the spot, but should they be coming to your session because it will help them sort of make a pitch internally at their firm or something like that? Will it help them kind of like rethink what they should be doing in their own processes? What's the biggest takeaway you think that you might be able to give them?
So the kind of things I'm going to be talking about the evolving role of the bid writer. So I see it as a really valuable career in its own right. However, in order to get there, I think bid writers need to step into like a strategic role. So how do you empower bid writers to sort of think strategically? What is it we need to be teaching them? Kind of moving away from that support role mindset, because I think it's really harming and sort of, it's not helpful. We're going to be talking about what the skill set of the future is going to look like in my view, and I think it's going to be a combination of writing, thinking, people skills, tech, but being able to really collaborate with people to get their expertise on the page. I'm going to be talking about what the structured career path should look like for bid writers, because there was nothing like that so I'm working with the APMP in the UK at the moment to develop a structured career path for bid writers. So we can signpost them to the right training, give them the right support, perhaps provide some aspirational end goals and some visions about what their future might look like, because none of that existed when I started doing this like over 20 years ago. And then how we support new entrants as well. So whether it's people coming from adjacent industries or people coming from university or college, how can we get...
Oh, did I lose her?
Yeah, all of this good stuff.
So Brianna says, love that in the chat there. So that's fantastic. I love all of that. And honestly, again, one of the common themes inside of PIE is this kind of lamenting over a formalized process for how you enter this career and how you progress within it. Because we all seem to be like just making our own path and hoping for the best.
We all fell into it and we all just kind of stumble through it, don't we? And I think there's a better way that is going to be more satisfactory for people building a career, better for the bids they work on, and better for the businesses they support. It's value all around. So yeah, it's a call to arms. It's going to be a call to arms.
I love that. I love that. I would happily follow you anywhere in this battle. Yeah. You don't even have to do a whole like William Wallace. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. I'm down for all of it. That's perfect. Well, this is great. I'm super excited about your session. I don't know where Beth has assigned you, but hopefully you're in my track because then I get to hang out with you. Otherwise, I'll have to watch the recording, and that's all.
Yeah. Okay. What track are you?
So I often get the recipes track because of my title.
Of course.
Yeah, and then Rachelle often takes the baker's track, and then I believe that that Beth is going to be managing ingredients, which is our tools and technology. So my suspicion is that you were going to fall into one of those three. Obviously.
Yeah, it's not clearly defined, really, is it? I'm going to talk about all of them.
Exactly. You're all over the place. Like career growth is such an important factor for our audience. They love
and it should be we should support that, absolutely.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're thinking about the next generation. That's so amazingly powerful. So I mean, I could see a solid entry into the baker's track. I can see, obviously, because it touches on AI, maybe we're dropping you into ingredients because, of course, that's like people are very interested in what AI will do to the industry and what it will do to our career path and what impacts it could have on it. And then, of course, for me, it sounds like there's a possibility that we're talking about process, but you might not get in my track. So
yeah, Brianna, you're right. It's the whole pie and the filling.
Yeah. But whatever, y'all UK folks, you put some weird stuff in pies. So
oh, go on, like what? Give me an idea.
Kidney and liver pie?
Well, it would be with some kind of meat. It would be with steak.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't be like just kidney and liver together.
Okay.
We're not savages.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it would be with steak.
Oh, yeah. There you have it. You're in Rochelle's track, Beth.
Okay.
Yeah. So
thank you, Beth.
Now we know. All right. I am not sure what you're saying excellent to, but I appreciate it. All right. So listen, it's 11:24, so we're getting close to the end of the session. And I want to respect your time because it's 7:00 at night. And full disclosure to the audience, I screwed up once again on time zones. It's a pie like perfection that we always screw up on time zones. And so Leonie was actually available for this session 3 hours ago.
It was 4 p.m. So yeah, about three hours.
I owe you so much. I apologize.
No, I thought something really bad had happened. I thought you were all there without me.
No.
And I thought, oh no.
Oh, I know, and that tension is so hard. So listen, I want to let you know, I am responsible for the tech checks for RFWin. If I'll give you my number after this if I ever don't show up. Like,
that would be handy actually.
Just ping me and we'll go to town. Anyways, so we try to finish off our sessions with something that we call a Tales from the Pitch. And the way this works is it can be a story that is interesting about a particularly difficult proposal, or humorous or something like that. In the past, we had a woman who she had a printed submission, and she put the submission into her GPS, and she drove there, and it was the wrong location. The buyer had put the wrong location inside their document, and so she drove to the wrong place.
I had put the wrong location. Wow.
Yeah. We've had one where a gentleman opened up the Excel file and found a hidden column, and when he opened it up, he discovered the name of his competitor. His competitor had written the bid.
Oh, wow.
And so they decided to no bid that project. So we've had the whole gamut of anything. But I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. Do you have a story for our team today?
Yeah, I do. I'll tell you about something that happened this afternoon, actually, and it sort of illustrates what I mean when I mean the strategic role of bid writers. So I'm working with a client at the moment on a very complex bid, and they really want to win this. It's really important, and I've got one of the really complicated, sections. It's 20 odd pages long. It's really big. So we need to do a storyboard or a kind of workshop around part of the answer that we don't really know what the answer is at the moment. So I said to my SME today, who is leading this, who's responsible for this whole section, shall we set up a workshop? Shall I facilitate it? How shall we brief our people that are coming? How do you want to handle the session? What kind of questions should we ask? How do we want to set it up? And I was asking him all these questions, and he hadn't thought about it. And he was like, this is a really good approach. So by me thinking about what is it we need from that session on Wednesday, I was able to pose those questions to my client so that he got in the mode of thinking about what he needed to get everybody kind of engaged. And so that's going to be a much more successful session next week, because we've set it up properly, because I've thought about it and I asked him the right questions. So that's what I mean when I talk about strategic bid writing.
Yeah.
Moving into things with a sense of ownership and thinking ahead about what do we need to achieve. So let's not sit there and just do the typing and wait for people to come to us with stuff. Let's lead the activity to get great outcomes.
Here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that story. That shows ownership of the process. It shows engagement with your client, and ultimately, like I have no doubt that the end output will be better, because people are actually thinking about, like, what do we need to do to get this client interest, rather than just like, what's the compliance table that I need to check off to make sure that I get something across to them. So
well, we've briefed everybody in advance. We've set those clear expectations. They know what they need to think about ahead of time, and they know what they need to produce in the afternoon. So yeah, that's how we keep things going to a high standard, rather than just feeling like we're grinding through the process and we don't like it, and we're getting bad feedback on our content. Bid writers get the best possible content by engaging with people properly. That's my takeaway for today.
Perfect. All right. Well, Leonie, appreciate it. If someone wants to connect with you, where's the best place for them to find you out there in the wide world?
I'm all over LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Search for Leonie Thomas. I believe that we're connected. So if you get lost, you can find my account and then look through.
That's right.
The connections, and we'll go from there. It is Thursday. It is the end of the temperature check for this week. Next week, Rachelle is back in town. I believe that we have some announcements around the RFWin. We probably have another speaker from the RFWin in that session. It is, anyways, it's the weekend. My kids just got out of school. Depending on where yours are at, there's probably something happening there as well. Hope that all of your bids are in good shape. Hope that you're safe out there. Leonie, thank you so much for agreeing to show up today and being late tonight. Again, 100%.
Oh, no, you're very welcome. Yeah, I look forward to the lemon curd.
The lemon curd is on its way, 100%, with shortbread cookies, for sure. Anyways, for all you out there, stay safe. Have a great weekend, and thank you so much. Take care.
Bye, everyone.